No, uploading on this channel was not some mistake we made. Okay? Um Apparently we have recently come under attack by people in a liberal echo chamber that we decided to join, and now they're on some type of what we would call woke crusade, which is basically that they're sending out this message to a bunch of people in this community trying to discredit us, trying to start some type of movement against us, and it's just insane.
Let me give them a bit of an introduction before we go on. First of all, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to everyone watching. Fernando has told me about this liberal echo chamber thing that we've been experiencing, and to be honest, I've been so mentally depressed by it that now is the time where I couldn't even get up out of bed in the morning to make this video with him, because I just felt so just emotionally menstruated that these guys would attack us. But let me give you a little bit of an introduction to these guys are. First of all, how this all started is basically we engaged in several debates with a guy named Josh. And in these debates, he got absolutely pathetically schooled in several instances, including on transgender, including on the mental wellness, or should I say lack thereof, of Gianni, and several other types of things that he got absolutely annihilated on. However, now it seems that the idiot himself is back for some revenge. He has sent this message to every single person except the circle that it is absolutely relevant to, because he knows it would get demolished. But thankfully, to someone I'm not going to name, we have received this message in its entirety, and we're going to talk about it because this is actually ridiculous. And this liberal echo chamber, this moral crusade, is not going to work. And even if it does, I would love you to just continue pushing this narrative, because I don't have to prove who I am to any of you. I already have. Now, we're going to talk about this message, and I hope that this gives you an idea of who this idiot is and what type of logic and delusions that he completely religiously believes, as it is his scripture and God.
Exactly, and I think I'm gonna mention this to all of you guys right now. He is sending this, like, literally in random people's inboxes. Imagine you open your private messages and you see this long message. We're gonna go through it piece by piece, explain, like, give a quick recap of what happened, and then we're out. Like, if you're going to...
I have to go see a therapist after this video. I'm just so mentally torn because this guy wants to...
Watch, bro. It's hilarious, okay? It's funny because he's going to accuse us of a bunch of things that he does, and it's insane. It's like these guys are like in a cult or something. Like, they cannot be wrong ever. They cannot. So, I'm going to show you guys this message. I'm going to slow this down. So that you guys can understand. I think this is good. Let's go. I mean, if you guys want to fire at us and attack our
I'm sorry, but any message that starts with hello individuals, I'm skipping and I'm blocking you on God, bro.
Dude, it's very stupid. But, yeah. Let's get into this.
Hello, individuals who receive this message. This is going to be an extremely long but extremely important message. If you use VoiceOver, double tap on the message to open the whole thing, because it's one of those messages where it's so long that you'll have to do that. If you don't use VoiceOver, I'm not sure how that works. Maybe you just click on the message to open the whole thing. I don't know. But anyway, let me know what you think. Thank you. Hello. So I am probably just permanently going to cut off Fernando and the majority of his group. And here's why. Number one, Fernando.
So that's why this is why it's called TBG versus the woke crusade on the title, because this guy is trying to incite everyone else to, like, get rid of me, as if they haven't already tried to do that before.
When his friends so made a lot of claims about me and my friends, with no evidence to back up any of them. Whenever people ask for elaboration, they do one of two things. Number one, they ignore us, or number two, they change the subject.
So I actually...
So who are your friends that we make lies about, by the way? Because it's only been you that I've been pathetically schooling and annihilating and burying. Who are your other friends that I've even remotely spoke to, apart from Future, and I haven't even said anything that's dishonest about him?
Yeah, no, you're gonna talk about that whole Gianni stuff in a second, and he actually agrees with our position. So, like, I don't understand what you're doing with this. And also, I literally have video evidence on our channel of you saying you're done with a conversation that you were not succeeding in. Like, it's on video, sighted people can watch that. Whereas you're saying that people are telling that, oh no, we're done with this conversation, we don't want to talk to you anymore. I never said that. Neither did he. The only person who ever said that was one other person, and I don't even think he meant that like for real. Like, we were gonna keep responding to what you were saying.
Yeah.
We bring it up again. They will lie and say that they've already elaborated. When they haven't, they just make more claims without evidence, explanation, or elaboration. And then, when we call them out on that, they start making petty condescending and stupid little comments towards us. Practically every single claim that they have made against us is actually stuff that they do, not us. For example, they accuse us of not being able to handle controversial conversations. They accuse us of not being able to follow through with debates, of not being able to tolerate disagreements, when that is exactly what they can do.
Again, video evidence on my channel.
Who is us? That's what I'm trying to figure
Yeah, who's
out.
us?
Who's us? Do you
what?
identify as multiple idiots?
Who's us? Are you talking about when I said like liberals do this? Are you admitting that you're a woke liberal?
This reminds me of Nick Cannon saying you've been disrespecting us for years, talking about Eminem when Eminem dissed black women. It's like, are you serious?
Who's us? Are you admitting to being a woke? Like, that's not good. I hope you understand that.
For example, there have been 4 different debate topics now, and every single time the opposite side will make a valid point, give evidence to back up one of their claims, or simply give a counter-argument to. Fernando S. Group's point or points. Fernando S. Group will automatically give up on the conversation and say stuff like, it's a waste of time debating with you, we're going to get brain cancer if we continue this, we don't want our IQ list to go even lower.
Literally only one person has said
You know
any
what's
of that
funny?
stuff. And sure, I think one of us did say it's a waste of time. That didn't mean we were gonna stop though. Like, it was fun to see what type of things you came up with. And I'm gonna tell everybody the types of things that you came up with in a second. Watch.
You're doing better things than having this conversation. Lawless guy is delusional. I can't do this anymore, etc. This has happened 4
I did say this guy's delusional because I'm about to show you guys why.
different times. The first time this happened in the
Wait,
transgender
why
debate.
does he generalize us as like all saying like that we're not going to continue the conversation? And also, I like to point out that he says that we ignore him. Hasn't he been inactive for the group for like 4 days?
Yeah, and he said he's likely going to leave, and he won't respond to any of the new things that I put in there.
Exactly. So how is that any sort of... And by the way, if you want to say like I'm ignoring you, I'm sorry. I have a life. I have college. I have religious obligations. I don't have time to sit there with delusional idiots all day, all night. I actually have stuff to do.
I don't either, but when I can engage that, like, I will, because it's funny, because you're getting into the debate topics, and this is where you have messed up, because I'm about to tell everyone what type of things, mental gymnastics, and delusional, absurd arguments you tried to pull forward. So let's see.
Can't do this anymore, etc. This has happened 4 different times. The first time this happened in the transgender debate.
The transgender debate. Do you know why people gave up on that? I'm going to tell you why. Now, I personally didn't. I'm going to continue to make
Neither did I.
Because you tried to make... Because I gave you this analogy of if 100,000 people take a substance and they say, I had horrible effects on me, on myself, and then 5 people that you happen to know say, no, it's not, I didn't have that experience, you claim that means that the 5 people you know means that I'm wrong. And you can just hand wave the 100,000.
You know what's funny is he admitted to hand waving something.
He did. He did admit to hand waving a lot of things, actually. And he's like, yeah, your numbers don't matter, but mine do.
The second time this happened in the probability/possibility debate.
Yep.
Again, because you made another delusional take, because you said that anything that is possible is valid in an argument. That is not how the world works, man.
You know, Richard Dawkins would really be a fan of your argumentation.
He would, because I told you, so you're a hypocrite, because we made this, me and BTP just started laughing at this stuff, and being like, hey, BTP, it's possible that we're all in some, like, afterlife and you killed the whole world and we just haven't noticed yet. And he's like, yeah, that's possible, but I choose not to believe that. And it's not true. It's just obviously not true. Do you dictate what's obvious? No, you don't. Like, are you the dictator of what?
He seems to be this moral standard that he believes, like, his moral standards is so superior to everyone else's that he believes that he is grandstanding his moral standard on every single other person. Like, hello, I actually follow someone meaningful or something meaningful in God. You're not God, so I don't have to follow your your
Also, where
discussing
does your
high
morals
ground of
come from? You
morality.
said common sense. What? What does that mean? Like, I don't think you understand a lot of philosophical things, because if you did, you would be doing this
This is
stuff,
not a good
because this is
answer.
ridiculous. Like, this is ridiculous. You don't say, "Oh, it's possible, therefore it's valid, therefore it needs to be considered." Because he's like, yeah, it's he admitted it's not likely that 100,000 people are self-reporting liars, right? Like, um, but it's possible, and therefore we need to believe it and accept that as evidence against
Not
you.
only that, but it also backfires against him because isn't it also possible that 5 people he knows are outright liars, and it's actually even more likely that that's the case because 100,000 is like 100,000 people saying the same story versus 5 saying the same story. I'm not saying these guys are liars because they didn't say they had a negative experience, and I'm not going to accept what they say. But at the same
Yeah.
time, you have to remember it's possible that they could be lying. So how do you know that? How do you know?
He's
Oh, I
like,
know
oh,
that.
well, we
Well,
can't know for certain,
so
so
what?
we can't say anything. It's like, dude, if we worked this way, we would not know anything.
If we work
Anything.
this way, you couldn't make any claim based on any evidence.
Yeah, because all evidence could, like, there's a possibility that it could be refuted. And therefore, because it can be refuted,
In fact, he calls me someone who's not a true friend, and I'm not even going to talk about how wrong that is because I already proven to the people that I need to prove to that's not true. But I said, well, he says, I asked him, do you have any evidence against me? He says, yeah, the messages in the group. I said, well, it's possible that these messages could not actually be me. It's possible that these messages could actually be an AI impersonation of me. That someone coded and someone logged into my WhatsApp account and someone hacked it. Is it possible? So could it be considered? He's no, no, no.
yeah, because he's
Are
a
you
hypocrite.
you're
And
inconsistent? Yeah.
you're basically a perfect example of what your greater movement on your wing does. Like, you're a perfect example of it. So thank you for giving us this content. But let's see, what else do you have?
Third time, I forgot exactly what the topic was, but I think it had something to do with religion or science. And this last time, it had to do with Johnny. They were saying the same.
Okay, so
I would love
religion
to
or
debate you on
science?
religion or science. I would
We
school
never
you. I would
actually did
destroy
anything
you.
like that. Actually, that's just a flat out lie. The only thing related to religion was when this guy kept saying ridiculous, like, nonsense claims, and then this other time he was planning to do like a call, which never happened.
Which never happened.
So I don't know, man. I don't know what you're talking about with this.
Third time, I forgot exactly what the topic was, but I think it had something to do with religion or science. And this last time, it had to do with Johnny. They were saying the same old stuff they always say. Johnny's actions can't be excused. He needs to be locked up in a mental asylum, etc. They also claim that Johnny has not made progress. Here's my argument against that.
So I don't. We're not here to dictate or police what he does. Like, we aren't here. We don't care if he has made progress or he has not made progress.
That's your
That
responsibility.
was never our argument. Our argument was, if his autism is as severe as it is, and it is, as all of you have admitted, then why should he not get help as urgently as possible, as fast as he can?
Which is leading me into the theory that he doesn't really care about Johnny, and I'd say this honestly. I'm not trying to throw I'm not trying to say anything that I wouldn't believe true. May Allah curse me if I did that. But to be quite frank, I don't believe he cared because if I had a friend who was suffering that badly, I would be making some phone calls. I would try at least my best. Like you and none of your people that are helping him do not have any type of degree in the psychological field. So
See,
how
and
are you
this is
going to
why
say?
I
Yeah, go ahead.
said that your morals backfire on you, because you claim that you guys are some selfless, people who are always selfless, but your help is somehow more valuable than anything he can get as fast as possible. Instead of trying to get him the help that you know is going to be better, you choose to do what you think is best and then tell everybody what you think is best to follow it. That's pretty selfish.
I have over 30 witnesses who can testify that Johnny actually has made progress since the beginning of 2023. The reason why my sources are more reliable than Fernando's groups. Sources is for a few reasons. Number one, these people have known Johnny for a long time. Some of them have known him even before he joined the blind community. Number two, these people are close to Johnny. They talk to him all the time. Number three, these people.
So I think that if this is true, if we also have to take everything that you say with a grain of salt, man, because you seem to super exaggerate everything. If you have these 30 people, I don't think they all know him extensively.
By the way, his sources are more reliable because
Because they're his friends.
Because they're his friends. And not only that, it's because he claims that they know someone and they talk to them all the time and they talk to him all the time. But if literally none of them has any type of degree in any type of psychology related field, I don't give a damn what they say. I'm gonna be quite frank.
Also, just because
And to
they
be fair,
say that he's made a bit of progress, right? Let's say that they say it, because I don't think that you're like a flat out liar. Let's say that they actually do say that. That doesn't mean that they're saying that it's exactly the amount of progress that you think it is. And even if it is, that does not somehow magically mean that he doesn't need to go get help from an actual professional.
yeah, so apparently a source is more reliable when they know them for a long time and they talk to them for a long time, but he's refusing to take sources about our character that disprove him, and he's
Like, oh, they're probably just brainwashed.
They're probably just brainwashed, they're lying. It's
Okay,
possible
dude.
that your 30 people are lying, so by your logic, I think your 30 people are liars.
Yeah,
Ask me for evidence, it's because it's possible that they are lying. Your source is wrong, you're wrong.
Yeah,
F
you're
off.
wrong, and you're not open-minded, which is what he tries to throw. Dude, he tries to throw up all these.
And you're bigoted, and you're a narcissist, and you're not a fake, and you're not a true friend, and you
and
suck.
we're cowards, even though I have
Yeah.
video evidence of me running for debates.
Even though I leave the conversation and say I don't want to talk to you guys anymore because you guys are so disgusting, you guys are the cowards because you are the ones that leave the conversation all the time. Even though I left two conversations.
Though I left 2 groups and then 1 private conversation, I just stopped it. Okay.
Him all the time. Number 3, these people have actually taken the time to get to know Johnny, understand him, and analyze him. Number 4, these people have actually done extensive research on autism and on how autism specifically affects Johnny. That is why these people can draw more accurate
Do
conclusions because they
you
have more
not
accurate information.
believe? I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Do you not believe that these researchers who talk about transgenderism, these 100,000 people, do their own research?
Do you think? See, dude, this guy would
Do you
not
believe
accept.
that they just
I want to
make
mention,
things
by the
up?
way, it wasn't just like stats either. He wouldn't take any evidence. I tried to direct him to r/dtrans, where there's a bunch of detransition or horror stories that I'm going to cover on the main channel at some point. Which, by the way, if you want more content like this, check this out. Check our actual channel out, because that's where we're gonna be at.
We have lots of content like
don't
this,
really
and we don't plan to
here
stop.
a lot.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't take anything. He wouldn't take r/dtrans. He would not take interviews. He would not take stats. He would not take anything, because he knows people who say different things. I asked him what type of evidence he would like, and he did not answer. Like, he does not want to be wrong. He does not want to review anything that I show.
I've also taken the time to talk to Johnny, ask him questions, etc. Fernando S. group sources have not done any of those things. They may know some stuff, but not enough to draw accurate conclusions. They're going based off of emotion, based off of stereotypes, based off of generalizations, and based off of what their friends think or feel.
So this
Okay,
entire
just
document
stop.
is you doing that. You know that, right?
Okay, that too, but not only that. We don't claim that we're going to draw accurate conclusions with regards to this Johnny thing. We do not claim that we are able to draw conclusions on his autism. We don't claim that. We think it would be more beneficial for him to receive psychological help elsewhere. They can draw accurate conclusions and claims about that. We are not saying anything about his autism. We're going off you and what you say. We're not saying his autism is severe, therefore he should get help. We're saying if his autism is as severe as you claim it is, which obviously you prove that it is, and he also proved that it is.
Yes.
He also proved that it is. In which case, he should be receiving psychological help elsewhere. We don't claim to talk about autism. We don't claim to draw these conclusions. You claim to. And by the way, like he just said, this whole document is saying Fernando's group does this. Fernando's group does that. This last section was only done by one person. The one he said like IQ is lower and all this garbage. Only one person said that.
Yeah.
One person.
Only one person said that.
And you're saying Fernando's group.
Yeah, we are.
And that you claim that we're basing it off stereotypes. By the way, what stereotypes do we use?
Yeah, when did we stereotype anyone?
When did we stereotype? What stereotypes do we use?
And it's just insane, the types of things that you are trying to get away with right now. And It's just ridiculous. Like, let's just continue.
Transgender field. I also brought up the point that direct sources are more reliable than online research because when you're researching stuff on the internet, anyone can find any website to back up anything. Also, not to mention the fact that a lot of the government documents and academic papers that are shown online, we don't know the people who created them. For all we know, they could be making up information. Maybe it's not likely, but it's not impossible either. We don't know these people. These are random strangers, online strangers. We do not know.
This is not true.
That's not true. Every single, and I'm a certified researcher. Every single source has to be evaluated before it's academically published. Every single one. And by the way,
you're acting as if, and I want to address this because it's important.
Good.
You're acting as if we're just finding random things on the internet, like random sites that have no idea what they're talking about. You're acting like we just went to like antitrans.com and then found our sources there. Like, no, that's not what we're doing.
As a matter of fact, the pro-trans sources agree with us. But I want to talk about this point because it appears to me that he's saying that this research is unreliable. The problem is, as a trained certified researcher, I had to take like a 7-8 hour course about this. Let me school you again. Every single source that has to be evaluated and authenticated before it is published in an academic journal. In any government journal, they have to evaluate it and trace the claim. If the source is not evaluated, it's not going in there. If a researcher is not checking his data, his research is not going anywhere. It's hitting the bottom of the sea. It's not moving. How can you tell me, oh, well, research is unreliable because some online strangers, what does that have to do if they're strangers or not?
Like,
if we don't know them, so what? I don't know the guy that made this source. We're not friends. We don't go to McDonald's every week. So what?
Yeah, I'm not,
it's
like,
a research. If it was
the
properly
government.
evaluated by the officials, it's fine. If it was properly evaluated and authenticated and published in an academic authentic journal, I can accept it. There's no problem there. Exactly. By the way, what do you mean online strangers? These people actually spoke to these people, not just gathered people on the internet.
These people
went out on the streets.
Bro. These people do a lot of things that you're not doing. Like,
believe them 100%. That's why direct sources, people we know whether it's in person or online, are more reliable sources, no matter what topic you're discussing. That's why.
You just literally contradicted yourself, bro.
So direct sources are more reliable than online sources, but direct sources can also include online sources. Ya Allah, you know what? I'm dead.
So basically, what you have just said, because this is the most intellectually dishonest thing that I've read in a bit. Okay, you just basically said your direct sources.
That's not true. Have you read his personality document? I think that's even more intellectually dishonest.
Yeah, I have read that as well. But what was I saying? Yeah, this is the most intellectually dishonest thing because what you're basically just saying is your direct sources and your online sources are not important. Mine are. How do you know, and I want to flip this back on you, how do you know that the people that know Gianni, who say they know Gianni online, actually know him? How do you know that?
It's possible they know him, so I guess they know him now.
Yeah, I guess.
Numbers did not matter in the grand debate.
Actually, that could be flipped both ways, because it's possible that if he's going by it's possible, so it's valid and it should be considered. It's possible that they know him, but it's also possible that they don't. So how can you come to a conclusion based off possibility and probability arguments that don't hold up to water?
They're terrible. Like, I don't know who taught you to argue this way. Like, okay.
Numbers did not matter in the trans debate, but in the Johnny debate, I said the numbers did matter because Fernando and I were both going off of the right sources. That's why the numbers are not the only factor.
Contradiction! And contradiction of the year goes to...
So people who are just random teenagers online, their opinions matter, but, researchers, academics, the government... Okay, well, maybe the government, but... people who publishing in academic journals... Researchers, they don't matter. Never mind the fact they actually interview these people and actually collect their data and actually do what they're supposed to do.
He acts like these researchers go on like Tinder and ask are you a detransition person? Oh, we have a survey we want you to fill out. They go out and they study and they go on the streets and they talk to people. Like they do these things.
They don't just come up with random things out of nowhere. And a lot of the time, sometimes they even frame it as if it's like a positive thing. Like, we can even use pro-trans sources to validate us. because they still have to report the accurate numbers. Of course, they're gonna put like their own frame on it, but they still have
But
to
they
report
still have
the
to
numbers.
be accurate, or else they're intellectually dishonest, and that source is not moving.
Not the Johnny, how much time people have taken to get to know him, understand him, and analyze him, how much extensive research they have done on autism, and how it affects people, and specifically, Johnny, how often they talk to him, etc. I mean,
So you know where they get their research? They get them from online. Where do we get our research? Online.
the simple point that is why my sources are more reliable than Fernando S. Group's sources.
So basically, you just said my sources are reliable because I say so. Even though the same standard that I use for my source gathering, I use as well, except that doesn't matter.
Explained it twice. As soon as I did, Fernando S. Group gave up on the conversation. Again, just like they have already done multiple other times when the opposite side has tried to give counter.
We did not give up on the conversation.
What do you mean? What do you mean we gave up?
Did.
Hold on.
You literally did.
Hold on. Okay.
Because
I'm sorry.
I'll tell you what happened.
Go ahead.
He said, because I was like, I think the thing that finally pushed him is when I was like, if all those 30 people are as delusional as you are, then it doesn't matter what they say. And then he got mad and said he was going to cut us off and he's done with us and all this other BS, right? Like, which is a valid point.
This is the second time he said that.
We've already proven that your arguments are ridiculous. If they all think like you, with this extreme degree of just insanity, then no, what they say should not be validated. I'm not saying that they do think that way. I'm saying if they do, then no. If they think exactly like you, if they're like you proving yourself to be extremely deluded. So, if they're like you, then no. Doesn't matter what they say.
I just wanna go back to this point. He says that we all gave up on the conversation when he said that. That's not actually true at all.
No, it's not true at all.
That's not true at all. And in fact, even if one or more people said, I'm not doing this anymore, that's not all of us. And up just above, you just said that we base our arguments on generalization. Hello?
Yeah, literally you, but what do we expect?
They always say, I'm done with this conversation, I'm going to get brain cancer, we're giving up, because we don't want our IQ list to go even lower, etc. It is obvious that Fernando's group cannot handle disagreements, they cannot handle controversial debates, they cannot fully follow through with a conversation. If there is disagreement involved, they are not capable of hearing all sides, or all perspectives, and they have a tendency to make all these accusations and claims with no evidence, explanation, or elaboration to back up anything they say, and then, when you're called out on it, they get mad, insult, lie, change the subject, or simply ignore the people calling them.
So, he claims that we don't elaborate on anything we say. Yes, we do, actually. We do, and we did plenty of different times in those debates. Except, it's not our fault that what we said repeatedly did not click. That's you. That's a you thing.
You might have noodled your caboodle, or you might have a problem in your little noggin. That is not our fault. If we did our fair amount of elaboration, which we did.
I think I said that he was like delusional and idealistic, which I have already elaborated before a bunch of different times on a bunch of different places. So he has no ability to say something like, oh, well, they don't elaborate or explain. We have. It's just your standard that it's not good enough.
Out. The best part is that all of the stuff that Fernando S. Group does is stuff that they claim, that my group does, but the evidence says otherwise, because I call for the differences that I have a solid evidence for every single thing that I have said about them. That my group does, but the evidence says otherwise, because I call Fernando S. Group out, but the difference is that I have a solid evidence for every single thing that I have said about them.
You did not provide a single piece of evidence at all.
Could they say the same for us? No, they did not, but my group, we have evidence. It's all in a general debate chat history on WhatsApp. That is where all the evidence is. They tried to discredit me by saying that I justify pedophilia and racism, which is an obvious lie, and they know that.
Which, we have a whole stream on that, by the way. Check it out.
It's true. We have a whole stream. It's called You Are the Problem.
Two, because I've explained clearly my views on those topics multiple times, so it's obvious that they're just saying anything they possibly can to discredit me now. They know for a fact it's not true. They're just saying it on purpose now. But the thing that gets me the most is that Fernando S.
No. We're not saying things that we know is not true. We're saying things that we know is true, that you have proved, since you love to make character judgments all the time. Like, it's insane.
Group, they do not tell you people. They don't tell you family. They don't tell you friendships. They don't tell you the people they love and care about. And they most certainly do not tell you loyalty. They value themselves above all else, their beliefs, their morals, their religion, etc. Above everything. And
so can I address this? Of course, people are going to value their religion over anything. If you put yourself in the shoes of somebody who absolutely 100% believes in a religious path, they're going to follow what they believe God says over you, because you are not God.
You are not God.
You are not a perfect being.
You are not even as important as God. And by the way, my religion tells me to honor family and loyalty and all that.
Yes.
So By honoring
Same.
my religion, I honor my family. I honor the people that I speak to a certain degree. Um, and like if we're close friends, I honor my friendships. I honor my loyalty. I have to honor my family. If disrespecting my family, that is a sin in Islam.
Like,
I don't even do it because like I have to. I do it because I was born and raised to honor my family, and my religion goes absolutely 100% hand in hand with what I was raised to do. It values family, it values culture, it values friends, it values loyalty, being loyal to to Allah, to family, to the people that you talk to. How are you going to tell me, oh, you don't value family, but you value your religion? My religion tells me to value my family. If I value my religion, I'm
exactly.
going to do what it says. Like, are you
Right.
real?
And you're like, oh, you value your morals and beliefs. Well, of course I do, but I'm always open to them being wrong. It's just that you're only saying that I'm not open to it, and we're not open to it because we just did not change our minds. Because you didn't give us sufficient reason to do that. You didn't give us anything. You just gave us like, oh, I know people. Trust me, bro.
If you gave us actual, solid, sufficient evidence to prove that your points are correct.
Yeah, exactly. I actually kind of liked one of the guys in there. No, that's kind of no. I'm not gonna say that. That
Astaghfirullah.
guy
What?
Paul, okay. He was actually sending like research articles and stuff, and I'm like, okay, just let this guy handle this because
Honestly, I think I'd much rather engage with him in this conversation.
he actually like was citing things, being intelligent, and you were just being like, trust me, bro. I just know. Okay, I just know.
Themselves above all else,
Trust
their
me,
beliefs,
dude.
their morals, their having themselves above all else, their beliefs, their morals, their religion, etc., above everything and everyone else. They do not let people be themselves, and they refuse to accept people for who they are, not even their own family, and it's just ridiculous.
You don't. So I'm gonna tell you why this guy said that, because we said that we would not be very close with trans people, and then he's like, "Oh, you're not accepting them for who they are." We don't believe that's who they are. We believe they're confused, and if until you can provide sufficient evidence that they are not, which you cannot, because it's literally classified a disorder.
He
That is the
made the
definition.
claim, and he has to. The burden of proof is now on him to prove it.
Yeah,
And to be quite frank, he didn't even come close to meeting his burden of proof. He just said, "I know because I said I know, so I know
and I know
because I'm
people trust
Josh,
me.
and
Yeah,
I think I'm God."
exactly. Um, So until you can prove us wrong about how it actually is who they are, and it's not their natural state of being, which a disorder literally goes against that. But until you can prove that, then your whole claim is invalid because we're not accepting people for who they are. We are staying away from people who are confused and advocating that they get help. How is that wrong?
People off out of my life permanently. I am most likely leaving the general debate group. Chat on. WhatsApp and that's that. These people are hypocritical, narcissistic, selfish, uncaring, and
So this is a common thing he does, by the way. He just launches like personal character attacks out of nowhere.
By the way, he says that his sources are more reliable because he know. I already said this before, but it's so funny. He says, and now this is a clear example.
are not even their
He
own family, and it's
says
just ridiculous. So
my
I am most likely going to cut
sources
those.
are more
People off out
reliable
of my
than yours because
WhatsApp. People off out of my life permanently. I am most likely leaving the general debate group. Chat on. WhatsApp and that's that. These people are hypocritical,
I want to go through
and
these
that's
one by
that. These
one.
people are narcissistic, hypocritical,
Hypocritical, we've already proved that on here.
narcissistic.
Narcissistic, I'm gonna tell you guys something he said, and I want to give you guys some like advice. If you hear anybody say, "I am a great person," run.
yeah,
Okay, they are extremely full of themselves. I have never said something like that, but this guy did. He said, "I think I'm a great person because my morals are great." And like me personally, if anybody says I am a great person, I'm just like,
no, you're not.
no, and that just kind of shows me the type of person that you are.
The only things I would consider great are the prophets of God, peace be upon them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and homemade tacos. Okay? That's it.
Narcissistic, selfish, uncaring, and lying.
Selfish, I've proven. Uncaring, literally, where is your evidence for this?
Okay, now this is perfectly going to entail with my other points because, like he said, his sources are more reliable because he knows Johnny more than we do. So what we say doesn't matter compared to the people that do know him. Let's follow your same logic. Fernando, how long have you known me?
A couple of years.
Okay, how long has Josh known me?
Less than a month, I think, right?
Would it be fair to say that you would be a more reliable witness when it comes to my character than he would?
Yes.
Okay. Your logic just backfired on you. So, yeah. Keep going.
Cowards, and I will not deal with people.
Cowards? Oh, yeah, there's literally video evidence of you on YouTube. Okay.
I am
don't
done
even
with this
have to-
conversation, guys, and then he left the group.
Coward,
like,
even though I said I'm most likely leaving the group forever.
This is a debate group. I made it very clear in the group description, and when the group was created, that controversial topics were going to be discussed. They chose to join the group, but clearly they can't handle it, so why they joined in the first place is beyond me.
Yeah, we should have known better than to join the liberal echo chamber clown world.
Yeah, astaghfirullah. May God forgive us.
Although there were some people in there that were cool, but like
Yeah.
you literally just created that for an echo chamber. You did not create that to debate. You did not.
If they couldn't handle it, they should have never joined. So,
Well, I think it was pretty fun, honestly. Either way.
It was pretty
It's
fun.
not that I can't handle it. You can't handle it. You're the one leaving.
Yeah, I'm staying.
I'm
You're the one
staying
leaving.
there. There's still people in there that are not you.
I told them to get out. If they don't want to listen, that's on them. And, like I said, all the evidence to everything I'm saying is in the chat history.
You told us to get out, but no one else wants us out. You're the only one that wants us out. And also, no, you never said that. Like, you just never said that until just now.
You never said that. You
You
the only thing
just
you said
now
was,
said that.
I'm cutting you guys from my life. You guys are toxic. I hate you. I think
you
I'm
said all
God.
that,
So
but
that
you never
means
said,
that
get out of here. You never said that.
Yeah. You know.
Every single thing I've said in this message can be proven 100%. And the simple fact is, they cannot say the same about their claims against us.
Oh, I'm not even going to
That's-
address that because he's going to address that his own
That's-
self-watch.
At yesterday at 10:29 against us. Message can be proven 100%. And the simple fact is, they cannot say the same about their claims against us. Message evidence to everything I'm saying is in the chat history.
Aha! Evidence that we're saying is in that chat history. So if this guy wants to share that link around and show everybody that, you are welcome to see all. The reason we're not showing anything right now is because number one, we don't want it to be super long. Number two, he just stated where the evidence can be at. And number three, there's people's like personal phone numbers in there, and it reads that. And I don't want to dox people. who have
Yeah,
nothing to do with that.
I don't want to.
So-
Yeah.
You heard him, guys. The chat history shows everything. So, if you're so confident, as you claim you are, that we're all this, put the link out and show everybody that chat history, and let everybody come to their own conclusions and see the type of ridiculous arguments you try to make, so that your stupid little woke crusade can just end quick. And by the way, I don't understand why you felt the need to send that to people privately at random. You just like dropped it. You just like do that? You just drop random things into people's inboxes for no reason?
It's like a content nuke, but a content nuke in the like when they test it, it's like in private.
Yeah. That's why we made this, because he's sending this everywhere, and so we're going to make sure this video is everywhere. We have ways of ensuring that.
Yep, we do. But I think this is the vast majority of the message. So I'm just going. Oh, that's all the message. Okay. So I'm just going to give a very quick conclusion, and then I'll let Fernando say what he wants in his life, because I do want to talk just for a while, if you guys can. If you don't mind. So I like to point out first that in the words of Anti-Prophet, and I already did a short agreeing with what he said, but I'm going to shout him out again because the vast majority of what he says, I completely 100% agree. When you infringe on how someone views themselves, they will fight you physically and mentally to defend that image. And this is 100% what I see in every single one of these messages, including this one. He is absolutely he's absolutely fighting us mentally in order to defend how he sees himself by trying to like do some mental gymnastics to justify things that are unjustifiable, say a whole boatload of delusional takes and all this other nonsense that he knows is true, but he believes that he views himself in such a manner that he wants to fight people physically and mentally in order to defend that image, because if that image crumbles, he's messed up for the rest of his life and he's not going anywhere. So if you're ever watching this video, Josh, or any of your woke crusaders, I have and we have schooled you buried you several times in several discussions. I have taken the time to sit and talk to you and talk to Future, who's I really have nothing to say about him here because I don't think he's involved in this woke crusade. He hasn't said anything to me yet, so he's cool, I guess, for now.
Yeah,
Um, he's cool. I have sat and talked to you and listened to your liberal echo chamber, and I have taken the time to dismantle you and annihilate you, right, like several different times on stream, in front of you,
in text, and I was
text.
way more patient than I ever needed to be with you.
Yeah, and
because I value discussions, but you did not give a discussion. You gave nothing.
You gave nothing. So now I am not going to care. You are an idiot, and I'm going to say that with such confidence because I know what you are. You are an idiot. You have no idea what you're talking about, and I hope to God that you see the delusions that you have as your reality and you escape it. Because right now, the only person that can save you, the only thing that can save you from your disgusting, deluded reality is Allah. So what I will say is, I will end off with a quote from our Lord himself in Quran chapter 1781. It says, "Say that truth has come and falsehood will perish because falsehood is bound to perish." Your entire delusions has just been crumbled several different times. And at this point, do I expect anything from you? No, because like I just said, you're going to continue to fight me mentally to defend it. So you know what? I'm going to sit back, make sure that your woke crusade ends, and I will leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to put you in your place and show you how deluded you are on the Day of Judgment.
And on that, you guys, the rest of you guys watching, if you guys made it this far, you guys can draw your own conclusions because, of course, we're not going to, tell you what to think or anything like that. We're not him. We're not going to tell you, oh, you're wrong for this or that.
Yeah, you can think for yourself.
But I'm not going to think for you. What we have said and evaluate how he acts, the way he worded his message, the way that, all the things that we explained, the prior things that I have showed on my own channel, on our own channel, and all this other things, and I know that a lot of you guys have background knowledge of him as well, know how he acts. A lot of people don't like him for the same reasons. So I think that it's pretty safe to say nobody is going to take up arms and crusade alongside you. And if they do, they're not going to come to us and actually, do anything.
And if they want to,
you're welcome.
You're welcome to. You know where to find me, and you know where to find him. Hit us up. We can get something scheduled if you really want to go into depth on this. If you're a crusader and you're just so passionate about the Josh scripture, and you just want to follow it to the T, and you just want to deep throw him for an hour and a half, that's fine. You can come to us and you can ask us, and you can be like, you guys suck, you guys, Josh is right about you guys, and we'll debate you. Well, it's fine.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
We'll be respectful, by the way. We won't want.
No, of course. No, the reason why I'm calling this guy an idiot, I don't act like this way to every single person. But the thing is, when I first met this person, I was fine with him. I guess I was okay. Okay, it was cool. It was just respectful discussion. Now it's proven to me that he cannot and is not willing to discuss things in a proper manner. So why should I? Now, if you want to talk about it, if you believe that Josh was right about us, that's fine. If you approach us respectfully, we'll be 100% respectful to you. We'll go through it with you. That's perfectly fine. We'll be respectful to you, and we hope that you will see the delusions that Josh is putting in front of you, because it's honestly sad that he himself is tricked by his own delusions, and other people are also being tricked. Hopefully not, inshallah. People are not being tricked by his delusions. Hopefully these people can see through that, because it's honestly sad that someone is being tricked by such a deluded reality, and it's honestly very disgusting. So
exactly. Yeah, if you think that he's right, if what we've shown and what we said has not convinced you that this guy's absolutely deluded, then yeah, go ahead and message us, leave us a comment, do whatever you need. We'll talk about it. We'll show you actual logs. So
And
you
with
can
that, I
and
have to
stuff.
go schedule my therapy session with BetterHelp because I feel just so emotionally torn by Josh's messages. He's just
I was
attacking
thoroughly
me.
destroyed. My
That
mental
was so
health will
depressed.
never
Fernando, right?
recover.
Right, Fernando, Fernando, you had to like,
Dude,
you had to like show up to my house and you had to like get me up to make this video with you
I
because I was
did,
just
and
so like there was like tears everywhere and like I
exactly.
was just like
And my own
crying in a
mental
ball
health,
and like.
my own mental health is it will never recover after what just happened. Just now.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
never.
I think I have to take extreme, tremendous trauma grief counseling. Whew,
Exactly.
that's
Anyway.
a tough one.
Yeah.
Pause button. Stop button.
Remember?
Hey, you know what can help us is tacos, right? Let's go
Right.
get some.
Anyway. Yeah. You guys want to see more stuff like this? Shorter though. Then
Yeah, much shorter.
Then check out Establishing Truth channel, and we'll see you
Pause,
guys
stop.
later whenever because we don't really upload on here. See you guys.
Assalamu alaikum. Bye.